Welcome. It's the Cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeartRadio. And we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag. Meow, meow, meow. Wow. You know, yeah, that's my baby's favorite part, the row. Right. So you know what? Testing, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check this out, you guys. Today's show today's show is really going to be a great show. I can't even make this stuff up. When I tell you, we're talking about things that go on in the church. You'll be surprised what go on in the church. Now, there are a lot of good things that go on in the church, so I want to give this disclaimer right now. We're not talking about your pastor, unless your pastor is worth talking about. We're not making fun or cracks at anybody. What we're doing is just speaking the truth about things that go on in the church. And one of the things that we're saying is that lies are told in the church. There's cheating in the church. There's gay folks and straight folks and transgenders and all types of things going on right in the church. So at the end of the day, my question is, who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? We cannot judge anybody. And I've seen a lot of church folks that sit back and think that they are able to judge other people. So again, that's one of our topics. And if you've seen Greenleaf, I want you to, talk with us about Greenleaf.
Both seasons. Yeah, that's the show right there. Both seasons. I had to watch it. Y'all know I don't usually talk about no TV shows like that, but Greenleaf was good. Boy, Greenleaf was good. Now, can y'all cast me in it? Can I be in there?
Can you be in there, right?
Put me in there. Please put me in there. I carry bags. I hold a mic. I don't give a damn. Just cast me. In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus. I don't know what's going on with my broadcast, but I tell you what, you guys, when y'all come in sharing the video. Come right on in saying where you're from, how you get here, and share the video. Do all of that. So we're also going to be talking about, what's going on with that movie. We got a movie. The Black Panthers is coming out. Something with the Black Panthers. Now, I've not really gotten so involved with it. Do you know about the Panther movie?
I know a little bit about it. I'm going to say this. It's good that they have a Black Panther movie because a lot of black people said we don't have black superheroes. But any Marvel movie, any Marvel sitcom is amazing. I'm supporting it all.
Okay. So we're talking about that as well. And if you got any input or if you want to talk about that, let's talk about that. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and kick our show off like we always do. We got Mr. James J. Hustle in the building.
Yeah, buddy.
And we got the Credit Repair Doctor filling in today as our sponsor of today's show, Mr. Trevor Equifax Black is in the building.
We on the table. We on the deacon board. We need one of them suits that old boy off 16.
Yes.
He got that one suit and that one blue shirt.
That's Trevor.
Let me shut up.
And you know what? I'm wearing. Let me tell y'all something. I feel like Prince. I don't know who I feel like.
I wish you take that shit off your neck.
Take it off
over there looking like a pirate. I don't know what you about to do.
I don't know. I was feeling Valentine's Day or something.
You look like you about to rob somebody's ship. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, right. Okay, so listen, check this out, you guys. Hey, we got Mr. Barry Donaldson listening for us today too. Hey, Barry, we see you. So I tell you what, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. The number is open. I need somebody to pin the number 708-223-8953.
Again, 708-223-8953. Call in, tag your pastor, tag your deacon, tag the sinners, tag the saints. Tag that woman that be wearing them orthopedic boots and them stockings and them little gloves. So when they fall on the floor, they be throwing them blankets. What they call them? That's them ladies that be having that hard candy in their purse.
The usher.
The ushers. Not Usher Raymond. Not all that the dancing. You got to tag the other
into
usher.
The presence of the Lord. So listen, check this out, James.
Yes,
now you're talking about the church folks. Tell me, what's going on in the church? What's really going on? And
Do you really want to know?
yeah, come on.
Man, everything going on in the church. Everything that's going on out here in the world is everything that's going on in the church. Why you won't get me from the side? You getting my skinny side. Let me suck in my double chin real quick. Okay. Yeah, everything that we doing out here in the streets, they doing in the church.
Not in the church now.
In the church. I used to be in the church, and I used to do some things in the church. Well, not in the actual church, kind of like in the basement, because my friend, granddaddy owned the church, so we used to take the girls down to the basement, and they had like these cots. Don't judge me.
Right, but you know what? But no, real talk. And I know I got a lot of pastor friends. So again, I want to say to every pastor, if you know, eat the meat, throw away the bones. We're not talking about every church, but what we want to do is just let folks
talking
know.
About every church.
Well, when I say we're not talking about everybody, we got some great pastors out here. And we want to clap it up. If you got a great pastor, you know, rep your pastor's name.
Pastor Hannah.
Pastor Hannah. Okay, Pastor Hannah. Somebody threw it up for Pastor Hannah. Great job. You know, we got Pastor
Mr. Winston. If you watching this, I'm sorry. I ain't got no problem with you. I just got a problem with some of the folks in your church. And I need to know if I can use that jet next week because I can't afford no plane ticket to Atlanta. I need to get there.
Lord Jesus. But again, we've had a lot of people that have complained about really being hurt in the church. We want to hear from you today. And even though we're kind of, you know, laughing about it and you know, making a little jokes out of it, this is a real serious topic. And there are people that have been hurt for real right in the church because they went to the church expecting everybody and everything to be perfect. And some people really felt that before they could go to church, they had to, you know, get themselves right. They had to, you know, I can't smoke and go to church, or I can't be, you know, gay and be in the church. Some folks thought, well, you know, I can't be in an unhealthy marriage and be in the church. And then realized that once they got into the church, those were the same folks that was right in the church. Mm-hmm. And then some of those bad habits, some folks picked up in the church. So we want to talk to you guys, first of all, that everything in the church is not perfect and it does not have to be perfect. And also for those people who sit on the church pews and think that you're able to judge folks and put other people down, we really want to talk to you today because you know what, it's time out for that in this season. So again, our phone line is open. We want to hear from you guys. Come on in. Have a seat, enjoy the show, and, you know, let's kick it off. Now, you know what? Again,
I want to know how many people going to actually tell the truth. All these folks be in church, man, talking about what commandments we shouldn't break and what we shouldn't do, but they the main ones that's living foul. Talking about, well, Brother Hawthorne, I saw you up at Personnel Liquors. You bought the Remy. God said don't drink the Remy. And I'd be like, well, Pastor, I don't mean no disrespect, but I saw you down there picking up that prostitute, and that wasn't my business, so mind your business, and I'm gonna mind mine. I see you at church, son. I see you at church. I ain't see you. You ain't see me. I said, I bet you didn't.
Now, somebody said, rest in heaven. I mean, rest in peace to Dr. Clifford E. Turner from Liberty Temple, the creator of the show, The Awakening. Did he die?
He died last week.
Oh, wow.
He died last week. Oh my God! I had really been trying to connect with him.
The funeral was Friday, I think.
Shut the front door. I missed that.
She said,
and you know what? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I went to his house twice. For those of you all that don't know, one of my streams of income is I drive, do the ride share. So I had an opportunity to go to his house on several occasions. And when I went there, I really was trying to connect. I was like, I need to talk to him because it was so ironic that his birthday, and I'm not going to tell where he lived at, but it was 10/24. That's my birthday. And then when I drove up, he had two big cats sitting out in his front yard. I mean, you know, two statues. And
he got that type of money?
He got a beautiful house. But the address was 1024. And when I drove up, it was two big cats sitting there. And I'm like, oh my God, am I being punked?
I like big cats.
They're the cats out the bag.
The cat's out the bag.
And no wrong with big kids. Right? I like big kids. Yeah,
and y'all know how bold I am. So I really kind of wanted to go to his front door and just be like, you know what, we need to talk. But
did he have a regular door like us poor folks, or did you have one of them big old?
He had a big old door. Very nice.
That's that type of money that I need. You know you got money when you got them statues in the front and you got that gate with your initials on it. Then you got the guard right there, and the house still ain't right there. You got to drive about 3 miles and 2 acres to the left to get to the house.
Yeah, so you know what? But again, I'm not mentioning any companies or anything like that. But also, and I'm not even mentioning what area. But that just really, really took me by surprise to hear that right now. So rest in peace. And then the awakening. As we talk about the awakening, even the awakening, that show definitely was a church show that showed us that those church folks are not, that they do some stuff in the church. There was a lot going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the church. We could talk about this for 2 months straight. Especially, hold on, you know what? Now, y'all know I take off for everybody. Why is it that church folks talk about how people that's gay shouldn't be in the church? Now, I see if you coming in there and you got on a dress and a full beard or something like that. It's like, you kind of show a little bit of respect. Or God say, come as you are. Don't come from the club with your little skirt on and you come right up to the pew as a chick. But they talk all this stuff about gay folks. And watching Greenleaf, it kind of pissed me off that they was more concerned about the son-in-law being gay than they was about the uncle that had raped all them girls. He done molested one of your daughters, tried to rape your other daughter, been looking at your niece or granddaughter, and he done raped all these little girls, and you ain't mad about that, but you upset because the choir director is gay.
Yeah.
98% of the choir directors in church that I'm in are gay. Who gives a damn? Like the dude said, he said they love you all week when you getting their stuff together, but come Sunday, long as they can shove you back in the closet, you good.
And most of the musicians, that play, they play in the club on Fridays and Saturday nights. So you literally come in, I'm gonna shake that booty, that big old booty, dun, dun, and then the church, that is same
Twerking
one.
for Jesus. You know what? I'm gonna start me a new song, Twerking for Jesus. That's boy, yes sir.
But you know what? Now again, because you talking about some twerking for Jesus, but a lot of them be up there and they still be in the same mindset, twerking. But at the end of the day, we are not judging them. We're just simply letting people know that you just, first of all, don't go to church expecting that you have to be all right to get into the church, because you're going to be disappointed when you find out that the church is not all wrapped tight. And I know, speaking from experience, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Who does what? So, because, to me, when I was younger and, the pastor, the pastor, and I never did call him pastor. I call him pastor. Because, that was a certain type of mindset when you say the pastor. So I thought that those were like, men of the cloth. When the pastors call your name,
they are men of the cloth.
Well, I'm talking
at the travel inn down the street. The sheets are cloths, right?
Well, I'm just saying, but you can't hold those men with such high respect, and then when you find out that they're just regular men, like, for example, like your husband, like your daddy, like your brother, and then you become disappointed. You just can't run to your pastor and try and tell him all your problems. Like, oh, pastor, I know, I just need you to pray for me. I'm having a problem with my poo nanny, and every time I think about chicken, I get hot. And pastor, I need you to pray for me because I constantly think about chicken all day long.
Are you talking about penis?
No, I'm just saying that. No, I'm just being real honest with you.
She said chicken.
What? No, but I'm just saying I'm just giving an example. There are women that try and even men try and go to the pastor with everything. And you're trying to talk to the pastor about things that's going on with you as a woman, and you forget that the pastor is just a man. So you're going to take your big old booty and your big old titty self up in there, and the pastor, you want to be all innocent because you feel like the pastor is the man of the cloth and you can tell him anything. So now you want to go tell me, pastor, every time I close my legs, I just get hot and bothered, and I don't know what to do with my coochie. Now pastor is looking at you like, well, I don't know what to do with it. Let me lay my hands on it. And then you disturbed. Now I know this may sound like it's funny, but some of y'all know that I'm not being funny because you guys were those innocent women or that thought you can go to the pastor and talk to him about everything. They're regular people.
Sense. Like,
well, you can't say it's common sense.
Like, come on now. Like, come on. I'm a freak. They know I'm a freak. The world know I'm a freak. But I ain't finna go in church talking about Woo! Hallelujah! My penis is hard. That's just crazy.
Well, you know what? Now see.
I can't.
Now let me tell you this. Now let me tell you this. It was a show. I mean, it went on Facebook, and it was a woman that went in front of the congregation.
Oh.
And she said that she had a problem because she had just had oral sex, and she was tired of putting her
that
mouth.
Ain't what she said, Vera.
Well, what she say? What she say?
She said, I've been saved, but I've been backsliding. I've been doing oral sex with my mouth. Is it another type of way to do oral sex?
Was that the lady?
She said, I've been licking men's balls. I'm like, and the pastor, he just took the mic. He was like,
Right. I mean, they got her out that church.
It was called Truth and Delivery. They told her to get up there, tell her testimony, and be completely honest. So the woman was honest.
Exactly. Now we got that. And that is, what do you call it? She's a lesbian. You call it lesbian? I don't. If I'm not saying it right, then forgive me. But she said that she was told that she was the temptation in the church.
All I can afford is
and she got treated as such. And listen, check this out right here. I'm talking about a lady that's a lesbian. Right? She's a lesbian.
I'm a lesbian too.
And then, Bet, if I'm saying it wrong, correct me. She date other women. So. She was told in her church that she was the temptation of the church, and she got treated, and she was judged from the congregation. But yet, several others in the same church lived the same lifestyle. But because she was openly a lesbian, they outcasted her. So again, how can we judge folks in the church? I think the church is really for a bunch of sick folks, and they just gather to try and get healing and deliverance. But don't be surprised if the person that's trying to heal you needs some healing and deliverance themselves. And I was just on, and you know what? I hope I can get him on here. Somebody tag Jedediah. I was Jedediah Brown.
Don't tag Jedediah.
Somebody tag.
I'm gonna say something that I ain't supposed to say. If you tag Jedediah, I'm just telling you right now.
Okay.
Don't bring him. I mean, you can bring him, but I'm just letting you know right now. If you tag Jedediah Brown, I'm gonna say some things.
Right. He was talking last night about being judged in the church. So if we can find him, I would like to even hear what he would have to say. James gonna be nice, but
I'm gonna be truthful.
You're gonna be truthful. That's fine.
Somebody said Jedediah to call in.
Jedediah call in, right? Yeah, we need him to call in. Somebody that's watching this post, y'all go grab Jedediah.
And then the main folks that be talking about gay folks, talking about they can't stand them and they hate them and they're abomination and they going to hell, be the main ones swallowing meat.
But you know what? And that,
I mean, I ain't got nothing against it. Just live your life, but don't talk about folks. Don't talk about them. Tell them they going to hell. Tell them that they gonna burn in eternal fire. Talk about how you can't stand them and they nasty and they filthy. But then soon as you go behind closed doors, guess who gobbling nuts?
You know what? Call in and tell us about the experience you had in the church. We want to hear. We have someone that said that they had an experience
I love me some
in the church.
Church girl be the freakiest one.
And you know what?
Ain't that right, sister?
2, 3, 8, 9. But here's the thing. and we say and that's the stereotype. You know, that's why I'm not religious. It's like, don't call me. I am very spiritual. Now I'm very spiritual. I just don't do religion because I can't have you judging me because the same judge, like you may see Vera. Oh my God, that's Vera. How's she doing a fellatio class and then coming into church want to give God the praise give God some praise, and she was just teaching or sex class. Well, you was in the class.
Let me ask you a question.
No, we use real penises. Vibrators. I'm sorry. Real vibrators.
So y'all use real penises. How do I sign up for the class?
Well, see.
I think you got to call.
It's the Cats Out Show. This is Vera. Who we have on the line, please?
His name already tells me.
Sound like somebody passed.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is Pastor Simple.
Pastor Simple.
Pastor Simple. Well, come on, Pastor Simple. Tell us where you from.
My name is Pastor Simple.
Okay, well, come on with it. What's your question or your comment?
They said one of your class.
Well, I'm from everywhere. I'm from everywhere.
Oh, shit. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all is crazy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with selling a little pussy in church.
What? That's my kind of pastor right there.
Wait a minute, you said nothing. Y'all is really going to
man.
You said ain't nothing wrong with selling.
Listen. Ain't nothing wrong with selling a little pussy in church as long as you pray for your sins after you sin.
No, that's wrong.
This nigga just said ain't no wrong.
But you know what? Now let me say this. You should not be prostituting in church or selling nothing. But again, we can't judge.
We not prostituting. We just selling a little pussy in church.
I'm gonna die.
Okay,
What
okay,
church
so
is in?
okay, now you know what? Seriously, y'all, because this folks on here.
Oh shit. Hold on.
So tell me what you mean about selling. Tell me what you're talking about.
Okay, now we go to church and we find husbands and wives, and most women are looking for the man with the nice car at church and the nice suit on. So she ain't doing nothing but selling pussy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
You know what?
Is that a real pastor?
You are
they
praying.
play together and they pray together.
They lay together and they pray together.
That's right.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Oh, you got another call.
Thank
I'm
you.
a real pastor.
And you're a real pastor.
What church do you attend, sir?
I actually pastor at Mount Sinai Seeing Its Purpose Church.
Where is that located?
California,
1452 North Cicero.
1452 North Cicero.
Yeah.
I'm going to this church.
All the girls work outside my church.
I'm about to pull up in my Maserati Sunday.
What's your name again?
Pull up in the Maserati in a Armani suit then.
We wasn't no pastor for real.
He probably is.
That man wasn't no pastor.
Pastor Simple. He said he from
Thanks
everywhere.
for calling the Cats Out Show. This is Vera. How can I help you?
Hey, what's going on? This is Roosevelt.
Hey, Roosevelt. How are you today? Tell us what city and state you're calling from, please.
Chicago on the south side.
South side. So, Roosevelt, you had an experience in the church, and you got a comment. What is your?
Oh, several. It's almost like growing up and everything, because a whole lot of because I was a guest on the show like back in the summer. And, Monique, she knows, because she knows me personally, because I am a person who's visually impaired, and both my parents, they were church musicians. And both my parents are completely blind. And even in the church, I saw like the bad treatment of my parents and how they were treated and how, they were denied certain things different than other church workers, were denied in the church. And as I got older, I began to see like how certain people, begin to twist the scriptures. And yes, I do have to say that I am a former of Liberty Temple.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And, I could tell you one or two stories there, but just for what I just found out, I probably just won't. I'll probably tell you that maybe in your inbox because I don't want to speak ill, so-called, of the dead.
Well, you know what?
Well,
we don't want you to speak ill of the dead.
If we don't know who they are.
But yeah, so you don't have to say any names, but so tell us your experience. What happened?
It was like, because, Liberty Temple, that was a big church. And it's like, because I belong to two like big churches in my lifetime. And it's like, these churches, a whole lot of big churches, they're related much more, I've noticed, to money. And in Chicago, it's like big churches, certain ones are politically connected to politics or the mayor or the governor. And I don't believe that it should be, either or anything, like that. And it doesn't make sense to take up two offerings and something in a service and, all of this other kind of stuff that, churches sometimes do. And to be politically connected and, certain pastors, they brag because they have a connection to the mayor or to the governor or to the president. I think that the two should be divided. And because, I have seen so much, I belong to a good church and everything now. But at one time or something, I guess I got so discouraged. I was thinking about going into the Islamic faith, and I got a woman who's like another mother to me, who actually is Muslim. And she told me because of a whole lot of stuff that I saw in church,
she said, next call,
she actually thought that if I got into Islam, I could be radicalized to where I was doing certain things that, you know, radical Islamic groups do. I'm pretty sure you know what radical Islamic groups do.
Okay.
I can't go into Islam. I can't be Muslim. I love bacon.
Because I was just so because sometimes it does something to you when you have seen, like, you know, just so much. And I can understand or whatever that you're only human or whatever, people make mistakes. But after you get so grown, and if you say that you have Jesus, and people, they say that they have the Holy Ghost, any pastors, any church people who are listening, stop misinterpreting scripture when it comes down to certain things. Stop playing games with people's money. Stop lying about money and, you know, making people pay all these different, like, things like tithes and offering and, you know, Founders Day, you know, assessments and, you know, seed offerings, you know, all the kind of stuff that man has thought up that God never said anything about in the Bible. He never said nothing about no seed offering or having a plan.
Right.
I mean, people need to cut their garbage out, I swear. And I think that's what keeps a whole lot of people, especially men, out of the church, because we see it. There's just a whole lot of other people who sometimes don't see it.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for your comment. We appreciate it.
Thank you all. Good, happy New Year to all of you all. You, James, and I don't think my friend Monique or something is on there. Hopefully she's cool.
Yeah. You know what? Monique had family. She had something to take care of today. But so for those of you all that's looking for Monique, she had another engagement this morning she had to attend to. But she'll be back next week.
That's my buddy.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So again, and for those of you all that's new and may not understand, listen here, we're not necessarily bad mouthing the church. We don't have anything to say about the church, but just to warn you guys that church folks are just regular folks. And don't think that just because you are in the church that you are not amongst the same folks that were in the club last night, same folks that go to the liquor store. Some of them was in the liquor store before they came to church. Some of the folks gonna be in the liquor store after they leave church, and some of the folks got their liquor in their purse. So I'm just letting you know that these are the same people. So let's not, you know, trip on the fact that, you know, some of these women that's doing, or these men that's in the pulpit. And again, I'm not talking about every pastor, okay? There are some great people that's out here, but guess what? Stop putting all of this trust and all of this faith in your pastor, or whether it's a man or a woman, and put that trust and that faith in the Most High, because the word even says that you have no other God before me. And some of you guys are going to the pastors, putting too much on their plate and forgetting that they're regular people,
and too much in their pockets,
and too much. Well, you know what? And I ain't gonna even trip about their pocket. You got to be wise with that, you know, because I've been in church services and I said, okay, I gave one time, and then turn around, they say, well, you give another $100. I said, well, dang, the first 100 wasn't good enough. So now God said, put it, and I think that they really prey on you when you come in and they know that you are a big tither. Now, I'm not going to throw no names out there, but I tell you one thing, documentation beat conversation. It was a point in my lifetime that I was a big tither, and I would tithe at least $1,000 a month in the church. I had just that much faith, and I did. As a matter of fact, I dare. And matter of fact, some of y'all know it. Some of them know it real good. I would tithe $500 to $1,000 in church. I was.
Will you join my church?
I was a cheerful giver. And when it came down to a time where I'm talking about for over 5, 6, 7 years, that's the type of money I tithed in the church. And there were some folks that did not know me personally, but they knew my name, because they knew my name. They knew my bank account information. And when I said it was Vera, they was like, oh, okay, hey, girl. They knew I was a big tither. I never stood in front of the church, never tried to, be on any type of board. I gave that money, and I ain't think nothing of it, walked out. I didn't even go in front of the church to shake the pastor's hand when church was over, because I was giving because that's what I believed in. And then it came a time where I had like a fall. And when I went to the church to try and ask the church, what could they help me?
Nope.
Do you know the church told me to go to some other suburb to get some assistance, not from where I was from, but sent me to another suburb and told me that they can help me with $250. And I said, well, wait a minute, do me a favor. I just wrote a check because I was expecting a big check to come in. I said, I wrote a check for $2,000. Do me a favor. Don't deposit that check. They said, well, we can't stop the check. I had to go stop the payment on the check because they wouldn't even stop. I'm not playing. And some folks hoping I don't call no names because they know I'm not playing.
Call their name.
And I wouldn't, and that church, and when I say I could not get any assistance, then the only thing the church said that they could do was give me, the local church said, well, we can give you $100, but I had to go fill out an application and all that to do that. From that day forward, I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm up. Because if y'all can do this to somebody like me that has never asked the church for nothing, and y'all done cashed my checks faithfully for all these years, it's two things wrong. We either need to have a system in the church that if we got this many people that's tithing and giving back, we need to have a system in the church that we can reach above and beyond helping folks that really need it. And nobody should be turned away because I believe that we have enough in the church to do all types of things. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not saying this because I ain't got nothing else better to say. I gave out just this winter alone over 30 coats. I've given out food. I've went to restaurants and got food for other people without a dime. And you mean to tell me that in the church body, we can't do more than what we're doing for the community? Nope. That's my problem. And that's why I say that it's time that we don't put so much emphasis on what's going on in the church and judging folks, because some of those same folks that we're judging and that has walked away from the church could be the biggest blessing of the church if we don't turn those folks around. It's a prostitute out there right now that by the time you get her in the church, she gonna have more love in her heart, more compassion. She gonna be able to go out and raise more money than anybody that was ever in the church before. Some of them corporate folks can't even raise money like that prostitute can.
Man,
and then
I'm trying to raise
some
money.
drug dealers. It's some drug dealers in the church that's gonna know how to chop that money up and flip it and make it do something.
What, you said flipping church money?
When I say flipping church, not necessarily to buy drugs, but they know how to flip money. But you can't get close enough because you got the cliques in the church that's sitting back judging everybody. So you can't get close enough to say or give your ideas, because if you're not part of the clique, you can't get in. And not all the time do your tithing or your money make you part of the clique unless you give it and say, I'm gonna give you my money as long as I can be part of the clique. So if you're giving them a check with a demand, then you can be part of the clique. But if you just giving the check freely because that's what the word says do, then you can't be part of the clique. You just can't do it because you're gonna give freely anyway because that's the word. And so
that's tired. You know what I do?
Mm-hmm.
I give money to random people that I see needed. Homeless people, I buy food. I don't have no money in my pocket. We've been at restaurants, and she'll tell you, I would go without eating just so I could get somebody else something to eat. Or I will see somebody put $2 on pump 4 and they got their kids in the car. I go back in and tell, look, man, fill that tank up. That's what you got to do. I mean, it ain't all about giving to the church, or you don't always have to go to church to praise God. Don't get me wrong. I love church in a lot of aspects, but the things I hate about church is the phony folks, the hypocrites, the ones that sit there and judge you, talk down about you, tell you what you can and can't do, but they doing worse than you.
Doing worse than you. And you know what? I got a pastor that just joined in. I'm gonna try and get him online and didn't even have him call the station. But I got a pastor. Let's see if we can get him to tune in before I even say who it is. Let's see if he's in a position to even speak on this subject and to shed some light. Let's see if he's able to even join us.
And the secretary driving a Rolls Royce, and I'm still driving my raggedy ass Chrysler. That's all I'm saying. I want a Rolls Royce too. I don't need a Rolls Royce. I take a Dodge Ram. You know, help me, nigga, help me.
And you know what? And I want to say, okay, the pastor has kindly declined. He may have something going on. But you know what? I want to say this that Vet just said, and that's a good point. It says it's a lot of them that hide behind the veil. Don't get me wrong. There are some great teachers and preachers, but there are some that are false prophets. You exactly. There are some prophets. They got the gift. They got the gift of prophecy, but they are not using it for kingdom building.
Yeah, don't even get me started on these prophets. Vera, you know what? I can be a false prophet right now. I'm gonna show you what they
Andre.
do. Now let me know if I'm right. Now, Vera, I'm seeing something. You've been through some pain in your life, right or wrong?
Hallelujah.
No, I'm serious. Have you been through some pain in your life?
I've been through some pain.
I see that it was somebody that hurt you, and it took you a while to forgive them, but you finally forgave them.
I forgave them.
You've had some financial struggles.
I had some struggles.
But you still have faith in God.
But I still got my faith.
Now I'm going to say something. Let me see. Does the number 8953 mean anything to you?
Oh, my Lord. That's what I played for the lottery last night.
Yes, Lord. God is going to bless you. And I mean, don't get me wrong. You got, I don't truly believe in the prophets, but you got a lot of them that sit there and tell you that bullshit. Don't tell me I've been through some pain in my life. We've all been through some pain in our life. Don't tell me I had financial struggle. Nigga, I'm struggling now.
Yes, that's right.
Catch out show J Hustle speaking. State your name. Where you calling from?
Oh, that's Andre Williams. I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Well, hey, Dre, how's it going? Thanks for calling in, brother.
Oh, blessings to you, Vera. Blessings to everybody that's on. How everybody doing today?
We're doing great. So, Dre, come on, let the cat out the bag. We're talking about these folks and lies and stuff that's going on right in the church. And folks are being hurt in the church. Now, we realize there are some good pastors. There are some good folks in the church. But also what we want to do is take away the cloth that the church is hiding behind and let the cat out the bag. So what could you add to that?
Well, I'm gonna give you my opinion. I say this all the time. A lot of us, when we going through our little church shedigs or whatever going on, most of the time people are leaving the church not because they leaving God, but because of the people at the church. You know, they not running away from God. They running away from the people at the church because of all the mess that transpire with people that's you a baby in Christ and you coming to get love and they reject you with the love at the church. And we got so many pastors, excuse me, I'm sorry. I was just stepping out, I'm sorry. But we got so many pastors that pretending, you know, walking in this thing, pretending that they have the love for the community, ain't willing to step out and put their neck on the line for nothing. And that's what the church is for. The church is supposed to be for the community to step up. But we have people that has been ran away from the church because of the actions with the pastors, the deacons, and everybody else is doing these things that hurting the people at the church and expecting them to come back to the church when they have been hurt so many times. And if I can give an example, and I'm not going to call out no names of the church, but I had started going to this church. I would travel an hour away every Sunday just to go to this church because I felt that I was receiving the word there. And every Sunday I would go. Even on Wednesdays, Bible class, I'd drive, get my family together and go a whole hour away. When I first went to this church, I was getting love. They was loving on me and my family. But then it began to decrease, like the love began to decrease. And the more I came, the more distance and the more cliques I saw in the church. Until it came to a point where I had to stand up and was like, you know what? I'm trying to start a new thing. So I'm going to stay and I'm going to weigh this out and I'm going to weigh this out. And then it had came to the point where these same people was trying to force me in order for me to walk into my calling. They were trying to force me to marry. They were trying to force me to do this, that, and the third, when really all I needed was a cleansing on the inside. But they had such expectations for me that honestly, it has just become so. I don't go to nobody church. I'm a pastor, certified. I have all my credentials. I don't even have a church home. You know why? Because it's so hard to trust these pastors. It's so hard to trust these churches that I'm not going to walk into anywhere not being able to know if you leading me to hell or if you leading me to heaven. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on in these churches.
That's what's going on. And again, thanks, Trey. We appreciate you, brother. And thank you. We appreciate that.
Yes, no doubt.
Have a great one. And again, for all of you negative folks that don't understand, we're not putting our mouths on the church. We do realize that there are some people that have been healed, that have been delivered, and they got great testimonies. I'm gonna tell you why I love my pastor, because I'm gonna tell if y'all and I'm not lifting him up like he's anybody that's so holy, but he's so real. Pastor Smokey said, you know what? I was in church just a couple of Sundays, and I was listening to him. He said, I need somebody that just got off the pole, that still know how to twerk. I need somebody that know that. I need some folks in the church that know how to roll up a blunt. You know, some real folks in the church, because you get all these folks in the church pretending, lying, and acting like they holier than thou, and like they don't have a pulse, nose just stuck up in the air. You want real folks. And then he keep telling people, don't look at me like I'm so perfect, because he's still struggling with whatever he struggled with. But I like real pastors like that. So again, that's just my story. We ain't putting our mouths on pastors. We just telling the truth. Who do we have on the line? Go ahead, state your name, where you're calling from, please. Hello, who do we have, caller?
This Damon.
This who? California. What's your name?
Damon Pope.
Okay, go ahead with your comment, please.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Now these pastors, some of these pastors are not like a brother was saying.
Go ahead. Can you?
Like the gentleman. Damon Pope, California.
Okay.
Damon Pope.
Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
Now, can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Okay. Like the little gentleman was saying, pastors ain't for the people. A lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them. Majority of them is not for the people.
Okay.
I was going to this church, and the pastor was telling me, I need everybody in here to put down now.
Okay, we can hear you. We hear you fine. Just keep talking. We hear you.
Okay. I was at this church, and this pastor was saying, I need everybody in this room to donate $1,000 so I can build this church. Okay, why you need our money to build this church? We here, to praise the Lord. We're not here to give money for you to build a church that none of profit off of.
The volume get low. Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate you, caller. Thank you. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
$1,000 from every member. If I'm putting $1,000, that's an investment. I expect the return on my investment.
I know that's right.
I'm just saying.
Amen. Hello, caller. Speak up. Who do we have on the line and where you're calling from, please?
Oh, hi. Hello.
Yes, caller. Go ahead. State your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah. Good morning. My name's Eric, calling from Chicago.
Go ahead with your comment, Eric.
I just wanted to say I kind of grew up in the church, and I kind of fell back out of the church a long time ago. A lot of this has to do with leadership. It's a lack of leadership. Pastors and people at churches are supposed to be leaders, and if they're choosing who they lead, or if they're ostracizing the people that they're leading, it's false leadership, and that's really what it boils down to with a lot of these churches. They're not leading the proper people. If you can't lead a homosexual, if you can't lead a whoremonger, if you can't lead a street thug into the light, then you're not a true leader. If you're only dealing with your own and you're not crossing the people over, regardless of their color or their gender or sexual orientation, then it's just false leadership, and that's what the church. A lot of these churches are showcasing. And it needs to be stopped. Yeah, it really needs to be stopped, because what's happening is a lot of people that's going to the church. They looking to be saved. They want to go to heaven. They looking to these people who we consider leaders, and we're not getting it. And then we're turning our backs on the church and ending up not worshiping even on our own time. I personally have a great relationship with God. I have a personal relationship with God. My mom always taught me that it comes from my heart. And I don't feel like I need a building, a church, a concrete building to help me praise my God. And it's sad that a lot of us feel this way because of the people there making us like run from the church, and it's just really bad.
Let me see something. Okay, well, you know what? Now, again, thank you for that comment. And where you calling from?
I'm calling from Shy.
From the chat. Okay, brother, you right on point. Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
Okay. We started off good. It's like we kind of slowing down.
Yeah, y'all.
You got a personal church story, anything like that? Because I done been a saint and I done been a sinner. I ain't finna lie to you.
Can y'all hear me okay? Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. Well, you know what? I got a lot of church stories, you know, that I can tell. Now, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. Just one church story, and I'm not giving no names, but
it ain't fun unless you get a name. Come on, man.
See, you want to be messy. We're not going to be messy on me. Okay. James is crazy. I want to hear your story, James.
You know what? I think I'm gonna just start me a whole show called The Holy Ghost Gossip. Yep. I'm just gonna go around putting everybody's business out in the church. We gonna go to these churches. I'm gonna start exposing these folks. It's gonna be like Cheetahs, except the Holy Ghost edition. I'm serious.
Ooh,
I'm dead serious. Or I should start my own congregation. And instead of having what's that little juice they be having in the pack in the cracker, we gonna give you shots of Ciroc or shots of Hennessy. It's gonna be called the Truth and Deliverance Church, because if you over 21 years old, we gonna give your ass a drink when you come into church. We gonna get you toe up. So everybody in there, you know, a drunk man don't lie. So everybody in there, your truth is gonna be out. So the ones that's good, we gonna keep y'all. The ones that's bad, we gonna have to let y'all go. I'm just being real.
I do not condone.
I will not be in attendance.
I don't condone the drinking and driving. We will have shuttle buses. We will drop you off or call you a goober. That's a ghetto Uber.
Y'all need to quit. But you know what? I'm gonna give you guys a story, and this is why I feel the way that I feel, and I understand that pastors are just men. There was a pastor that I saw one time. I was just coming from working out, and I saw the pastor at a car wash. And when I seen the pastor at the car wash, he said, "Hey, you know what? I want to talk to you for a minute. I want to talk to you." So immediately I was like, "Oh my God, I wonder, you know, is it something going on with me that the pastor want to talk to me?" Because I was young at this time, and I really, really had a high level of expectations for pastors. And I
had on some leggings.
And I don't know what I had, but I was coming from the gym, and the pastor said to me something so inappropriately about, you know, what he wanted to do with me, or sex. And he said, "I don't know what came over me, but I really kind of want to, you know, eat a little bit." And I'm looking like, "Pastor?" I couldn't believe that he said that. But you know what I immediately thought is, what is it about me that would even make this pastor think that it was appropriate to come and address me like that? So even more importantly than what it was that he said to me, I immediately had to do a self-evaluation and say, I checked, said, "Pastor, let me tell you something. First of all, if you can come that boldly to me, because apparently you didn't know who you was talking to. And I ain't have the cat's out show or any of that stuff during that time. But I was always ready to let a cat out the bag on your behind. So I said, if you can come like that to me and you don't even know me, you don't even know what I'm about, and say something so inappropriately, I wonder what you do for the women that's in the cloth that are vulnerable and that will take you up on that offer." I said, "Don't you ever, long as day you live, approach me with that type of nonsense again. I'm not the one. And the only reason why I keep your name hidden is because I can't afford to let all these folks be hurt and hindered by you. But I tell you, if I hear of anybody ever coming to me saying that you came to them inappropriately, I'm gonna let a cat out the bag. So I would suggest that you stop and don't ever do that again."
I think you should put his name out there. I ain't being messy, because if you know what he doing, it's your right.
But he apologized.
It's your right to let these folks know that they got a false prophet.
Well, let me say this too, because I realized at that moment, because I used to really, really carry these pastors on a pedestal. And again, I had to jump back and do a self-evaluation of myself, because you are what you attract. So I needed to understand what would make a pastor feel like you could just come to me and say anything like that?
Them $2,000 checks you was right. He was trying to suck an offering out your ass.
No, and see, that was different. That wasn't even the same pastor. That wasn't even it. So
he had heard it through the grapevine.
He had heard it through the grapevine. And you know what? It bothered me so bad that I would literally talk to other people about it. And one guy came real close to explain it to me. And I'm gonna give him a shout out. Pastor Timothy Trent. Pastor Timothy Trent. He came and he said, Vera, what it is about you that you have to be aware of. And he had no idea what was going on because it bothered me, but he was used. So even when we talk about prophecy, you know when people are coming to you and they've been sent by the Most High because they just serve as a confirmation of what you were already praying about. They just serve as a confirmation. They don't come tell you no new news, because if God talks to you, nobody can come tell you something about you that you didn't already know. But what he said to me, he said, Vera, you need to be careful. He said, because you have an anointing on you that some of these pastors and some of these men of the cloth, they want some of your anointing. They want to touch you. So while you're talking to these people about business and you're coming in there with all of that energy and you're not hard to look at. He said, you know, you got a nice body, nice shape, you know, people, men are going to like you. And I had it at that time, for those of you all trying to hate now. But again, he says, and they are not paying you any attention as you're talking about your business. They got their mind somewhere else. And he said, from this day on, don't go meet with no pastors by yourself anymore, talking about no business. Go with your business partners. And I said, wow. He said, yeah, because you sitting there all giddy, all happy, all full of energy, all anointed, talking about a business, and they want to have some more business with you. And I took that from that point on, and that's been years ago. And so, and I know I'm not talking about myself. There are some women out here, whether you ever come forward or not, that you don't just understand what I'm saying, you overstand what I'm saying. And some women have been victimized because they fell into the trap. I do a lot of events. I do a lot of women one-on-one counseling, sex therapy, where we try to have whole and healthy relationships, for those people
whole and healthy
and within their marriage. And there are a lot of women that come to me and we talk, and there are a lot of broken women, and they've been broken by things that happened to them within the church. There are a lot of first ladies that are sitting on the pulpit, and I'm not gonna call them first ladies because I ain't never even seen in the Bible where they even talk about first lady. And then sometimes you get confused.
That's the first lady that he wake up to, and then he got a second, third, and a fourth lady. You want me to tell you the truth why the pastor came at you like that? All jokes aside, pastor came at you like that because we all know when you have men or women in positions of power, you have men and women that throw themselves at these people. Like they looking at the first lady sitting up there. So that side chick right there, she ain't had this man yet, but this man ain't paying her no attention. So she want what that other woman got. So she gonna do everything in her power to get what that other woman got. So these pastors and these deacons and these people that's in high ranking positions, they use that power to pull these women in. They used to getting these women, having sex with them, doing what they want to do with them. So by you not throwing yourself at him, it was a challenge to him, and he wanted to know why you weren't throwing yourself at him, and he wanted to come at you.
And then what they say to you, especially, I'm driven. I'm always about business. I'm always trying to make a difference within the community. I'm always, trying to do something. So what some of them do is they try and use that as leverage to say, well, I got what you need. I can help you. If you would just be in my church, if you would just let me get close to you, you wouldn't have to work so hard. But you know what? I say the devil is a lie, because if God could trust you with it. Don't talk about my baby
mama like that. She ain't got nothing to do
with it. Shut up. So if God, somebody say I'm muffled. So if God could trust you with all that he's trusted you with, then surely I can get it too without going through you. And especially not without belittling myself like that. There are a lot of hurt and broken first ladies that's trying to keep their mouth closed, but they so hurt, they so broken because they don't know whether they the first lady, the second lady, or the third lady sometimes. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen these women with these old Jezebel spirits come right in the church and sit they butt right on the front row with their legs gapped open,
And that's why
looking
that
at the
preacher
pastor.
be sweating.
Yes. This is not what I heard. This is what I know. I've seen some churches that have been broken down because somebody came into church while the pastor was all married. And then the next thing you know, they sat there on that front row. They tied, they sang in the choir, they did everything they could until they end up in relationship with that pastor. And then the next thing you know, you're trying to figure out, well, where the first lady gone? Oh, well, she had to go on by her business. And I know it may be the other way. I know some stories may happen where the first lady may have, messed around. Right. But again,
first ladies mess around too, because I was messing with a deacon's wife and didn't even know that she was the wife of a deacon. Didn't even know that she was married. This woman was giving me money. They know the story.
To my deacon, what's her name? Sister Suck 'em Up.
Who?
Sister Suck 'em Up.
She sure knew how to suck them up at the Western, boy. Lord have mercy.
Sister Suck a Lot.
No, but I was messing with this chick, and the dude, the deacon, he came to the room one day, scared the hell out of me. I ain't know who he was. He said, I just want to see my wife. And I'm like, your wife? She married? Hold on, wait. He's like, hold on, brother. It ain't like that. As long as you keeping my wife happy, I'm gonna keep you happy. So if you need a little something extra this weekend, I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, the money she giving me, she was getting from him. Scared the hell out of me, but it was, I was ruthless back then, but I wasn't that damn ruthless. My conscience took over. I'm like, I can't do that. Especially a married woman.
It's
like I felt
with a husband in agreement.
Indecent proposal.
And a lot of these first ladies, people wonder why the first ladies or these deacons or preachers' wives, they stay there with them and they don't leave. Even after these deacons and preachers didn't even mess with girls and boys, they wonder why that first lady stayed. She's staying because that man is using the Bible to manipulate her. That man is using, we married. You can't break this chain of marriage. They tell them all this stuff. They manipulate these women and they scare them into the fact that if you leave, you're going to hell. And a man is supposed to do this and do that. It's in the Bible. We should have several women. That's bullshit. Ladies, don't deal with that crap. Don't let nobody manipulate you with the Bible.
And you know what? And I want to say this while we got Trevor on. Matter of fact, let me add Martin G. Johnson. Every time I see you, I'm adding you. Listen, we got the crime chaser that just joined, but I want to give a shout out right now to our sponsor of this show. He is our sponsor for this amazing show. He like, no, I'm not. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I am not the sponsor of
not
this
put
show.
me or my church in this.
Don't, do not put me and my church in this messiness. But you know what? And then you know what? Hey, what's going on, Martin G. Johnson?
Churches don't even like me. Listen, they said I tell the truth. I'm too honest.
Hey, you know what? Thanks for tuning in, Martin. And I know Martin is a pastor too, so we're gonna keep this going even after we leave. But we got Trevor Equifax Black in the building with us today, and this is the credit doctor. Whom, first of all, because you got a church and you love your pastor, do you want to give us a shout out? You don't want to say nothing about? Okay, good. Tell us about your business.
I'm here to talk about credit.
Okay, good. Talk about your credit. Tell us exactly what do you do and how can people benefit from you?
Basically, I could remove anything on the credit report in less than 60 days. I have a website, www.tnbconsulting.expert.
Stay there, Mark. We need you.
And I have my phone number is 312-597-0058. So the process takes about 60 days. Student loans, bankruptcies, foreclosures, medical bills, tax liens, pretty much anything. I just haven't tried the name and social.
Jedediah, we want you, Jedediah, too.
Don't let your baby daddy flip your tax money.
Don't
let the baby daddy flip the taxes.
Jedediah, don't go nowhere. We want
$500 is very reasonable. $500 is all up front. No payment plans. It's tax time, so you got it.
And I want to give a testimony because it's been less than 30 days. And I'm already getting all types of letters in the mail. I'm already starting to get offers for new credit cards. I have not accepted anything.
Don't accept nothing.
Don't accept nothing.
We ain't done.
Y'all, we not done. But I've seen like all the different testimonies of people that you have really, really blessed them. So again, tell our people how could they reach you? And yes, I was told students' loans can't be removed.
That was a lie. You probably went to somebody that didn't know what they was doing.
Okay.
It ain't, Just keeping it real.
Keeping it 100. Student loan can be removed. So again, tell us, how could people reach you? Tell them to call you. For you guys, start calling the number right now because this man stay busy. But go ahead.
312-597-0058 and www.tnbconsulting.expert. Or you could follow me on Facebook.
Okay. So listen here. You guys. Now we're gonna go right back because it's the cats. Martin, don't go nowhere. It's the cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live a million times. And we here letting the cat out the bag. Meow. We did. We're talking about stuff and lies that go on in the church. We're talking about people that have been